Hello, and we're back with our round 4. We have now a very special feature match
Yes.
with Ludwig Rahm and his Christian deck
And Michelle Reiners with her or his, I'm not entirely sure, with Tricksters.
with Tricksters. So we want basically for this round to not feature a Pendulum Magician deck particular. So we had a look at Ludwig Rahm because I think in Twitch chat some people asked for
Yeah.
him.
And both are still XO.
Exactly.
So,
So quite interesting decks. I mean, Tricksters are quite famous here in Germany.
they're popular, yes.
Um,
They have like multiple win conditions. They can like let you start with 0 cards in hand. They can burn you, just play
exactly.
the regular game, kind of.
And for the Christian, to be honest, I have to reread all the cards because I'm not totally aware of what each card is doing. How about you?
Yeah, I've played like once on locals against them. I'm not sure about the effects. I know that the tuners are quite special in their deck, and I know what the level 5 is doing. But yeah, we will have to read a lot and guess a lot. I'm also not that familiar with tricksters actually, because I'm usually just losing the first round against them and don't have to read that much.
But we will see. I think will be quite funny to see two of these road decks. Pretty sure that both weren't prepared for the other one.
uh,
Maybe Ludwig a little bit more against Tricksters than Michel against Christians.
we have a nice question from Fafa Yu-Gi-Oh! Does mayonnaise miss timing? I don't think so because it's a mandatory effect.
Which
If mayonnaise is missing its
mayonnaise?
timing, I don't think so because it's a mandatory effect.
Okay, so okay.
So what are they
Oh,
doing?
that's interesting. So Ludwig is pointing the monster zones
Ah, okay.
with the little
Coins.
coins. Swedish Earths, I guess.
We
Should be.
don't advertise playing for money here.
Okay, so
So now the die roll with two dice.
one and
It's 7, I
six,
think.
average.
And I can't see the second. Oh yeah, it's 9. So Michelle can decide who's going first. I presume she wants to start and directly OTK, FDK the opponent.
Let's see.
Let the guesswork start. Uh, yeah, interestingly enough, she's playing also some anti-meta cards like Barrier Statue of Heaven, which is quite good. She's playing. What does she has in her hand? I think it's
Dark Room of Nightmare.
a Chain Summoning. I think the first one is the one which special summons itself, and the second one is the one. I think it's twice the same,
Yeah,
isn't it?
twice the one.
I think it's Licorice.
Exactly.
Candida is, I think, the Searcher. So she's playing out Dark Room of Nightmare, which is dealing, I think, 300 damage or 200 damage each time a damage card is
300
inflicting damage.
additional damage. Yeah.
So she's playing the anti-meta route, normal summoning the barrier statue, and I presume passing the turn because she has no place. If she had the Searcher, though, she could have done a lot
Yeah,
with the
exactly.
chain summoning.
So now we
So
probably will see a little bit of the Christian action. Not sure. I think all the monsters are water machine type monsters.
I think they're all over the place with their. I think they're like machine. They're all machines, but they're like wind, water, like everything all over the place, aren't they? No,
All waters.
you're right.
However, I think
Some of them are dark, but it's no, it's traps. Okay.
and we see Ludwig starting off with Janix Undying, a card that we saw, that we see back in 2014 in the Mermail.
Searching his
formats.
controller and dumping. I think is it
Sulfan.
Sulfafnir, the Sulfanier, I think it's in English. It's the level 5 one. He can, I think, special summon it from grave or hand by
Discarding a Christian.
discarding a
card.
Christian, then special summoning, and then destroy one card. I think he controls someone like that. So you got rid of the statue, and now he's starting by discarding the trap from them. I think it's Crystron Impact.
Okay. In the graveyard, when a card or effect is activated, that targets a Christian monster Christian monster he controls, he can banish the card to negate that effect.
I think he special some Tistwern, I think it is. Destroying Undyne. And Tistwern, I think special summons a tuner by drawing another card you control. I think it's something like that from the deck.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's the Christian C3 that he special summoned.
For clarification, for all of them, they're both XO, so they're both undefeated, so they're not table 500. They're actually table 3, I think.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
3 or 4. So, interestingly enough, Kristrons are going to get more support next year with a new Link monster, but he has to combat Tricksters now without this support.
For the monster that's special summoned C3 from the deck, which level does it have?
I think C3 is the level 1 or 2. It's one of the low level monsters.
C3 is level 2. The other one, special summoned C3, was level.
This one is, I think, it's level 4.
Okay, so he's going to synchro summon at this point.
To 5. Amatrix then, who's I think this is Amatrix who's curling up the monster back to defense mode, I think. Yeah, it's Amatrix.
So when it gets synchro summoned, it changes all face-up special summon monsters that the opponent controls to defense position, and if this synchro summon card is destroyed by battle card effect, he can special summon a Christian monster from his graveyard except a synchro monster.
Yeah. It's kind of like a battle phase stopper. You use it during your opponent's battle phase and just put all the monsters to defense mode so he cannot attack during this turn.
Okay. And I think we already see that Michelle isn't too familiar with the Christian cards, but to be honest, I think a lot of players aren't.
She has Ties of the Brethren in her hand.
Is it?
Is it? It looks like it. Does she play it? Yeah, she's playing 3 Ties of the Brethren in the main deck.
Oh, I see. So basically, you can use it on
on any 3, I think, and get Licorice and the other level 4. It's the
Ties of Breath says that you have to pay 2,000 life points to special summon to choose a monster and special summon 2 monsters from your deck with the same level and same type, and I think even same attribute. So she could use it with Candida to special summon Honest and
yes.
the Light Statue Barrier.
For example, yes.
That's pretty cool. So now Ludwig went into Omega. This card is one of the few cards we know actually. And there's the Chain Summoning that got banished. Now he's using the Graveyard effect of one of the Christians to, I think it's the one that can search a monster, yeah.
Yeah, he's taking Smiger, I think. Crystron Smiger, depending on how you spell it.
So, yeah. He summoned itself back to destroy himself and special summons something from the deck.
It's Preziote, or I don't even know how it's called in English. It's the level 2 water machine guy, and it's getting
C3 back, summoning C3, and which he can afterwards use again in the turn of Michelle to synchro summon something. And he's searching now the trap card.
Again, the impact, I think it is.
Yep. Let me check. So the on-field effect of the card is to target a banished Christian monster and special summon it. Afterwards, he has to immediately.
Oh, bad top deck, another chain summoning for her.
So the card is actually pretty good, as it special summons a Christian monster, and if the your opponent controls any monsters, their defense is changed to 0.
So she's going to battle phase and trying to attack him.
And Ludwig is using again the C3.
I think it's going for the level 4. Yeah, it's the level 4 Crystron.
Um,
We have to read it a lot about it. It's Quendex.
I think the card was played in the infamous hand loop deck before.
For Tyrant 44, the event is today and tomorrow. Today we will play, I think, 8 rounds
Exactly.
of Swiss, and tomorrow do we play
The top 16
the
cut.
top 16 cut. So we will be back tomorrow as well.
Okay, so Michelle gets in a little bit of damage. But is still in a pretty tough spot just because, like...
I think she's not scooping right now because she wants to like get a little bit like what's the opponent's deck doing at all, because I
Exactly.
think she has no idea what Christians do, because usually when I see her hands I would have already scooped and went to game 2, but I think she wants to know a little bit more about the deck, what can it do, what it can't do, get a little bit used to it.
I mean, also, it's always... now they have like 28 minutes left. So getting this extra information, maybe of additional cards that maybe she knows, like strikes or stuff like that, if Ludwig is forced to use them, just to be a little bit more prepared, because like you said, Christian, she doesn't seem to be that familiar with the deck, so knowing what to play
Now we have
against is
Coral
important.
Dragon coming down and using its effect to destroy the Licorice.
And
Now you should have,
should be enough
I
damage.
think
on
it
the
should be
field.
enough in, because this one I think has like 1800 or something.
The Quandax has 1.8, yeah, and the small one, well, it's game.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually kind of hard to commentate this game because we're not too familiar with Christian as well.
Not at all. We
It
kind
looks
of know like
pretty
to the free
cool,
card. It
to be
looks
honest.
really cool. I think they got hurt a little bit. I think even more by Link summoning than other decks, because they just don't want just only have one synchro monster per turn going down to your opponent. They want to have like multiple summons, and right now they're kind of limited by it, or they have to do it over the synchro monster they have summoned before and go up and up during their
Exactly, yeah.
opponent's turn. So
But I mean, Omega is like
Omega of course is always the card
it's
you
the
can play
solution for
anywhere.
everything,
It's the
more or
solution
less.
for everything. So
well, let's talk about the side decks.
oh yes, let's see. We have a few hand traps here for Michelle, like 2 Skullmeisters. I think it might be a decent option because they have a lot of graveyard effects. 2 Ash Blossoms, 2 Ghost Ogres, 2 Twin Twisters. I don't know how good they're. System Down will be a great side deck choice. They're all machines, so you can banish all of them if you want. 3 Anti-Spell and 2 Masks of Mask of Restriction. Oh, I don't think that they will come into play here. But System Down might be a decent option.
I mean, also the Ash Blossom seems alright.
Yeah, maybe the Skullmeister. I don't know. Ghost Ogre. I don't think. I think it's good during your turn when they try to synchro summon. You can just kill the tuner who wants to do it, and then it's done. They
I
can't
think
do
that's
anything.
actually
from it.
pretty good. So
Yeah,
a lot of options.
there's a
there
lot
in
of
the side deck.
options. Yeah, what's for Ludwig?
We have the Gamma Seals, which pretty sure they won't get in. Psyframe Gamma, however,
With the
surely-
driver together in the side. I guess.
exactly, should be a really good option to get to negate the Candida, for example, and having like already a Synchro 8 possibility. We have afterwards Smoke Grenade of the Thief, which
3D old card from I don't even know, like Labyrinth of Nightmares.
I think something like that. Pretty interesting card. Not sure why he's using the card in the side deck. I think because he can basically always destroy one of his own cards to use the Christian effects.
Yeah.
Maybe for that. So probably card going first. Anti-Spell Fragrance probably won't see that. I roll as well. Imperial Order as well. So probably just
He has
the
not that many
Gammas.
cards for going second because he has already a lot of hand traps in his main deck, with one exception: no Maxi in the main or side deck. He does not like the card, I think.
Looks like that. I mean, There are Ash Blossoms around,
Might-
Ogres, even Typhoons.
Might be a good call because usually if you're even playing against Pendulum Magicians, you have to like preemptively drop it or chain it to the like one special summon they have, which is triggering, which is the Astrograph Sorcerer. Usually it's not that great in against this matchup,
That's true.
so maybe he decided to opt not to play it.
Okay, so let's see what's going to happen. Michelle decides to start
Let's
again.
see if she has a better start now than before.
So we have to Labyrinth,
she has
Tron
to
Lockbird.
Drone Lockbird, chain summoning. Does she has Candide? Oh, I think this is gonna be OTK. So she's activating her effect to search.
Okay, so she doesn't have a card to get into the Chain Link 2 at this point.
That's true. Does she have this field spell? I don't think so.
Didn't saw it. So what she's probably going to do is like trying to get Ludwig to search a card and then doing the Drawn Lockbird combo.
Yeah, so that she can kill him his entire hand. So Dark Room of Nightmare for the extra burn, but Candida, is she? I don't think she's giving any. Oh, each time in a spell and trap card, it's getting 200 damage. Okay, at least something. She's activating in the draw phase, I think, the Trickster
Okay.
Reincarnation and chaining
So, well, that
Drone Lockbird.
that doesn't work because Drawn Lockbird has to be chained to, or has to be in a new chain after card resolved that's letting the open draw card.
Yeah.
So pretty sure
I think
this will
Ludwig-
end in a charge call.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I think she's taking the back but resolving the reincarnation because she activating the draw lockbird is illegal here at this point.
Okay, now she's discarding it, so he draws the 5 cards or the 6
Oh.
cards.
So she
Yeah.
will activate it kind of on his draw then, so it will be discarded on a draw. It's a crucial misplay here from her side, I think.
Well, it always depends. I mean, it's still possible that Ludwig has now like searchers in hand which he can't use or draw cards.
I'm
For
not
sure
sh-
not. I think for sure not the best use of Drawn Lockbird, but I mean, if you have like just one reincarnation, you could potentially just wait and hope that Ludwig goes from itself to a search effect or stuff like that, and then go into the combo.
So, what are they discussing? I think they're talking with the judge right now about the ruling.
Okay, so Ludwig is just
Setting 4. Wow, as if he's playing in a like trap deck. Okay, Twin Twister immediately chained to the search card, destroying Dark Room of Nightmare. What is it discarding Gamma? I think, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now it's actually interesting because I'm not sure how it works. I think, yeah, I was thinking about if Dark Room is dealing 300 additional damage, but I don't think so because it's in a new chain, I guess. Okay, so both cards are getting destroyed. I'm actually curious what the back row of Ludwig is like.
Maybe he drew like in all of his side deck cards, but he
Should-
does not have that many side deck cards in the first place.
I mean, he has, for example, the Crystal Impact that he used already in the first game a few times, which is pretty good at this point, because the Reincarnation banishes the hand face up, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, all the banished monsters are still options to get.
So they're
Summoned
still
back.
talking about the chain resolve, which is kind of simple. When she activates Trickster Light Stage, she can chain the Twin Twister, discarding the monster and destroying it so that she can't search with it.
I think the point of discussion is if the light stage is dealing the 200 additional damage, because Candida says whenever your opponent is using a spell trap card, deal 200 damage. And the light stage says whenever a trickster does damage,
I
it does
don't.
it
I don't think so because light stage hasn't fully resolved and hit the field, or is it? No.
Well, it's actually interesting. I'm not sure how it works exactly.
I don't think so because the permanent card needs to fully resolve during activation to also get its permanent effect. Otherwise, it's just getting destroyed because it's permanent spell and trap, and it has not fully activated now. So he should just get 200 damage for the Twin Twister, and that's it.
Okay.
Someone is mentioning it applies on resolution, not activation. So because of the resolution of Twin Twister, it will be off the field. It won't be able to resolve because it's already gone.
Okay. Okay, yeah, and there's the impact, which special summons back one of the Christian monsters. He gets 200 additional damage from Candida. I think it's 200. Now and so Ludwig gets the summon of his Sulfenir, I guess. It was that
Oh, I think it's this one. It's the searcher. That is the one who banishes one to special summon one from the deck.
yeah, the card in grave is Sulfenir, and the special summon one is, I think, the one that you mentioned.
It's this one.
Okay, so there's normal summoning Ash.
Okay.
Something you won't see that often, but an
Synchro summoning.
Coral Dragon goes to search another monster, probably using the Coral Dragon now to get rid of the back row.
Oh.
So
Disturbance strategy.
So basically, she had the combination. Basically, she had the combo
With both
From
cards.
Lockbird.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think
She played it wrong.
exactly, or basically, yeah, not correctly.
I think she was too excited. Maybe, oh, I have the combo, and just missed it.
Now she's not really in a good spot. Like, she needs probably another field spell to get slowly back into the game.
Interestingly enough, he's playing already triple Typhoon in the main deck, which might be set there somewhere.
Could be, yeah. Well, I'm not sure, because he could have used it like just a Typhoon on the field spell and wait with Twin Twister to get more of the back row cards. Let's see, so
Maybe we should clarify for the chat, because they are thinking she made a lot of misplays. Usually, when it's your first feature match, sometimes you're doing some misplays because you're too excited or too nervous. So
exactly, it happens.
don't play it on her.
I mean, in the end, it's still you're playing in front of, I think, almost 1,000 viewers. The stage itself is also like it looks like
Everyone sees
something
it.
special. Exactly, yeah. So it's normal to being nervous at a point like this. And for Ludwig, I think it's not his first feature match. We already had him in Cologne with a pretty interesting Dino Yangsing deck back then. And yeah, he's also known to the big tournaments. Would be interesting to know for Michelle if it's her first big tournament that she's playing. But I mean, so far, there's a reason why she's 3-0, so you should never forget on that.
He's going for Mistar Boy, which is one of the few cards which helps the deck because of the special edition. He's allowed to play it. Although it's part of the latest set, it was already pre-printed.
Exactly.
in the Code of the Druid Special Edition, which helps the deck because it opens up a few zones to make more synchro plays in this deck because everything is water.
It's actually quite interesting to see Christian deck because it really looks strong from the plays that it does. So maybe sleeper deck, for example, for your tournaments that you're probably going to play tomorrow or next week for London, even.
Mm.
But I think something we also, or something that I like about decks like Christian, for example, the advantage that you have because your open normally doesn't know the deck.
He does not
So
know where to interrupt, like how to
exactly.
react to certain situation. What is the boss monster? What is their win condition? Like what plays do they still have when you stop one specific play? So yeah, it's like the power of the unknown. I think back then when Ritual Beast came out together with Necros, a lot of players knew what Necros did, but Ritual Beast players were like winning the tournaments because nobody knew like what the hell was going on there on the field. Like they were like just looping and looping, and nobody knew like where to interrupt, how to stop them. I think this is one of the advantages he has for this tournament.
Yeah. Okay, so he summoned Chunbara, so that
Going
would
for a
be
lot of damage here.
like 4,600, 5,600 should be game actually.
I
At
think
this point.
she thinks it gets lowered by Mr. Boy, but he's lowering fire monsters. He's not Mrs. Radiant.
Exactly.
So he's just pushing himself, and Chambara is unaffected by its effect because he's just a wind monster.
And Ludwig around takes it with his Christian deck.
So 4-0 with Christrons.
Pretty cool.
I'm pretty pumped to see him maybe tomorrow on the top cut when he's going that strong.
I mean, there's still 4 rounds to go, but there's a reason why a deck is 4-0.
I think we will have to ask him some questions against which decks he had played till now.
Would be interesting to know, especially if his opponent knew the card so far, because surely one of the biggest advantages of a deck like this.
Yes.
But as we saw, like a lot of interesting synchro plays that were quite like summoning Omegas, summoning in your open turn level 7 synchros, so potentially Black Rose and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And you're just like you're not afraid what can happen. All of like one monster in the field, one back row, and out of nowhere there are like 2 synchros, something like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're going, trying to get Ludwig